Also, we lost the lockpick earlier, which I was upset about. I didn't mention it in post, but I did mention it in live commentary. I was like, oh, these thieves just went up and got themselves killed. That sucks. Rip to the lockpicks. So it's kind of unfortunate. Kind of unfortunate that it happened that way. And I was like, well, we have a motivator here. Might as well just use a short bow. No need to use our better bows. I was actually sitting here like, Zach, can you crit, please? Because he's got that 14% crit. So, you know. And this actually starts a train of me getting mad at Zach. Zach, it takes a while for Zach to crit, and he's got the high crit chance. And, you know, I tell that to him. So here's where I was like, oh my gosh, Anakin, magic screwed as well. And he actually got 1 resistance. That's not a good level up by any means. Just 1 resistance is kind of meh. And I was like, oh, good, we missed an 89. Not only are you not going to crit, but we missed an 89 as well. Great. That's wonderful. But he got the weapon level up, so there's something good about Zach. Now here, I was just like, well, what do I do? And I just decide I'm going to make a wall here, you know? I was like, you know, I'll just make a 4-man wall. I'll let the enemies decide who they're going to attack. And I'll let the enemies decide who's getting the experience. And so that's what I do. I do just that. And then I give everyone ranged weapons, just to make sure that we kill all the... It might be next turn. Actually, I think it's next turn where I make them all hold their ranged weapons. Yeah, I think it is. You know, I'm just going to sit here, play it cool. I'll have Sia kill that guy on the left, and then, you know, just call that a day there. Like, well, you know, might as well. Nothing I'm going to be able to do. I wish that Karina could kill him, but she can't, so not much that can be done there. Oh well. Oh well. So I'm just kind of looking around. I'm like, does anyone need to be healed? Well, we'll heal all theirs again. Because we healed them earlier, but like, you know. And I remember saying, like, you never know when that 5 HP could help. Actually, didn't he live on 5 HP? That's very something similar to what I said. And here I get mad because obviously magic screwed. I start going off on a magic screwed tangent again. You know, this is where I mention 11 magic in 13, 14 levels with a promotion. That's pretty bad. I'm almost positive she comes at 10. Maybe she comes at... I don't think she comes at 6. I'm almost positive she comes at 10. I know she comes at level 10. But, and here's where I realized. I was like, wait. He gets +3 to speed, defense, and strength with this weapon. This is where I truly realized that the Sylvans are better than the Phoenixes. I was like, well, okay, does the Phoenixes give anything? Or the Phoenixes? The Phoenixes? And I was like, no, it doesn't. So, yeah. This is where I solidify. This is where I 100% say, yeah, Sylvans are definitely 100% better than the Phoenixes. Or the Phoenixes, whatever you want to call it. I just say the Phoenixes. And I was pretty ecstatic at that point. I was like, oh, okay. I believe after that is like, okay, I mentioned it in the earlier in live commentary. But this, again, is where I revisit that idea. I'm like, okay, it might seriously be time to start pumping some stat boosting items into Sean. It might be time to just turn him into a god. He's now got an amazing weapon. He's got some pretty decent stats now that he's promoted. And on top of those stats, he gets +3 to, what was it, strength, speed, and defense? Like, yeah, that's pretty amazing. And Lyran gets the crit here. I'm like, oh, my girl with the crit. Gotta love Lyran. How do you not? I feel bad for anyone not using Lyran, man. I know Mangs, which is who I'm watching, he doesn't use Lyran. He uses just Karina. And I'm like, man, sucks to be you. I like Karina. Karina's a good unit, but Lyran, at least my Lyran anyways, just turned out much better. Much, much better. And then I think this is where I'm like, rip Light Ruin. Isn't this the guy who had it? I don't remember. Either way, I'm like, alright. Just keep running at me. It doesn't matter. Just keep throwing your lives away. It really does not matter. I mean, they just keep coming up. They literally attack one of the units that can double. Although, they all probably would have been able to double, I'd assume. I don't know for fact, but I would assume. And then Lyran gets a level up. She doesn't get a good level up if I remember. Yeah, I was like, skill luck. Been kind of getting some booty level ups this time around. Which is true. We kind of have been. We really kind of have been. So, I believe this turn is where I start trying to plot with Zach here. You know? And at this point, I'm all in on Sean. I'm like, well, Might as well start giving Sean kills, because, I mean, obviously level ups are going to do him a lot of good now, you know? Sean's turning into a really good unit with those really overpowered weapons. So here I'm like, I was going to give it to Ace, I'm like, wait a second, Zack is right here. So I end up killing with Zack, and then after this, I'm looking, and I'm like, well, now that Zack's over here, is there any way I can get Zack on the bolting guy, or the lightning, what do they call it, the lightning bolt guy? We come over here just to motivate him, and just for him to get this kill, and I don't know when exactly, but I start looking, I'm like, oh, well, with my rifle bow, then I'll be able to, you know, Zack can move over to the stairs, and then with the rifle bow, he can maybe crit that guy, and we can get the thunderbolt. That was my hope. That was definitely my hope, you know? That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, well, he's got the thunderbolt. How heavy is it? It's super heavy, you know? And I'm just talking about, like, well, if he uses that thunder, it's gonna suck. And I was like, well, how do I get to him? And I'm like, oh, wait a second. 1, 2, 3. Well, the stairs. Alright, what's your movement? 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. Oh, he can reach it. So that's when I start, you know, my plan. I was like, well, this is perfect. I got Anakin right next to him already. And once we get a clear path, you know, when the stairs aren't blocked, I'll just run over there and I'll try to rifle bow. And then I was upset. I was like, great, well, I wish I had my bloody bow now. Because the bloody bow would be not only stronger, but a much higher crit chance. And I was a little upset I didn't bring it. But it was whatever. I had my plan. And once the path was clear, I was going to go for it. Alright, well, we got these two here. They're blocking stairs, you know, not really much I can do right now. So we'll just wait. You know, we'll just play a defensive approach. We'll just wait on it. It's all good. That's exactly what I do. Then I have her just come, you know, heal people. Not because we need the heal XP, but because I just want people, you know, with health. Man, I really checked this guy a lot, didn't I? I think it's just because I really wanted that Thunderbolt, you know? And I said in the episode, like, dude, I really want that Thunderbolt. We all know I'll never use it because I like to keep, you know, rare items, but I still want it. I remember saying that in the episode. But I say that all the time, especially when I'm live streaming, because my chat gets on me all the time about, dude, you have this, and this good weapon. I'm like, look, man, just let me be. You should be more impressed with me that I'm not using all these overpowered weapons to death like everyone else, you know? In regular games, I should say. I mean, I'm going to use the Silvos and stuff, because this game kind of throws a lot of BS at me. And my luck seems to be really bad. Really bad in this game, so... You know. But still, you know, Sean's great. He's no Quadincia, because if y'all know, Alencia, she gets her weapon. And I'm actually upset at myself that I don't know what it's called. Because Alencia is queen, but it's Amity. No, it's Amity. I know what it's called. It's Amiti, Amity. But yeah, I mean, Sean's no Quadincia. You know, because Alencia with her Amity, overpowered. Literally Quadincia. Quad's like almost everything in the game. It's insane. She's just, oh my gosh, she's so good. And here where I was like, okay, Sean is becoming a god. Sean has a complete 180. He had a really good level up. He had another decent level up earlier. It might have even been good. And he gets his really overpowered weapon. Yeah, this is Sean's complete 180 chapter. Sean turns around from a meh to bad to meh unit. He does a complete 180 this chapter and turns into an amazing unit. I was genuinely shocked. I was like, holy moly. Sean could actually be good now. So this is the turn where I just sit back and, you know, I let everybody hold their ranged weapons, let these guys run at me. Here I'm checking resistances. I'm just seeing, I'm like, okay, well, if anyone needs to go out to try to bait that, then who am I going to send? And I, you know, look at them like, oh, okay, so we got a couple units. We have Emma, we've got Anakin, we got Sia, and then I was like, oh, Lyran. Lyran is actually tied for most resistance. That's a little bit crazy, but it is what it is, you know? Lyran's tied for most resistance. You know, that's, I don't know what you want me to say, it just is what it is. So unfortunately Sean had to put down his really OP weapon, sad face, but it is what it is.
can do it.
Motivate for the XP, obviously. I was like, oh good, he attacked Zach. Then I was like, alright, well, he's got a 2 crit. If he can crit me on a 2 and I can't crit him on a 19, that'll be a little BS. And again, I was getting agitated with Zach. I'm like, Zach, you have the highest crit rate out of anyone in this battle so far. Why are you not critting? Karina crit on a 6. Kevin crit on a 10 or 11. Lyron's crit is like, come on, dude. I just got really agitated with Zach this battle. I actually did. Not gonna lie. So then I'm looking, I'm like, okay, no reinforcements. So what can I do here to clear a path? And I was like, okay, well, Lyron. But I want to heal Lyron first. So, you know, I move Zach here. And I was like, alright, well, maybe Zach can crit. If he crits, great, Lyron can take out the other one. If not, oh well. Lyron can still take out this one, but I'll be able to heal her. And everything will be okay. I also like, when you're one spot away, he quick draws the bow, you know? You can see how short the animation is. It's just a quick, whoop, boom. You know, it doesn't even fully draw the arrow. I kind of like that. I did mention that, and I kind of like that. So here I was like, well, you know, equip your Silvos. Equip that OP, really extremely good weapon. So from here, you know, I decide, alright, well, let's heal Lyron before we send her out. Definitely don't want her taking unnecessary damage or risks, or, you know, whatever. So I send her down this way. I'm like, alright, well, clear the pathway. Clear the pathway and let's get Zach over here. And I was like, oh wait, Sia has high resistance. I can send Sia down to kill this guy. Because I didn't plan on killing this guy. And I was like, oh well. I saw Sia there. I was like, oh. It clicked in my head. I was like, wait, Sia has high resistance too. I forgot about that. So I sent Sia out for that kill. 4 XP. Yeah, she does not get any XP at all. And then I was like, oh, Karina, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get a kill. So obviously I give Karina the kill. Now there I check his resistance. I'm like, wait, he has 20 resistance? And that's where I realized, like, we have 20 characters with 20 characters. We have 4 characters with 20 or more resistance. That's really good. So here, I had to bank on a crit. I'm like, alright, well, maybe he crits, maybe we get the bolting. If not, then we're stuck with a thunderbolt. And not only does he not crit, but he misses the first attack. And I was like, really, Zach? I was just so frustrated with Zach at this point. I really was. Then you get skill and HP, and I'm like, Zach, are you trying to piss me off? And this was surprising. That dude says something. I'm like, oh, okay, well, what does that mean? You know, it, took me a little bit off guard. And then I was like, well, rip Thunderbolt, you know? At this point, there's nothing I can do about it. Thunderbolt's just gone. But I accepted it. I was like, you know what? Thunder Tomb's not bad. You know, whatever. And he started moving. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. The boss is moving? And, you know, so I take a look at these guys. I'm like, ooh, a Killing Edge and a Venom Edge. I want those. I actually want those. So I just do a double check, make sure we're getting the thunder. And I was like, alright, well, we're getting the thunder. And he got a lot of experience off that kill, but still. So anyways, yeah. Just kind of taking a look at the rest of the battlefield. And I was like, well, the boss is moving, and I think that guy's recruitable. I want someone to talk to him. So I'm kind of plotting here. I'm like, well, what can I do? You know, it might not be for another turn or two. I think I don't start planning until everyone moves up. I think I move everyone up this turn, the next turn I start planning. But I'm trying to plan. I was like, well, how can I get to that guy without killing the boss, or the boss, you know? Because I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I could put Kevin, you know, over in front of that pillar just to the right there, and have, you know, take Kevin's weapons and have Kevin tank him. And they're like, but I don't want to do that because he's an assassin, lethality. I mean, Kevin could die at any point to a BS, you know, skill kill hit. And I do think it is next turn. now that everyone's up here. I do think it's next turn where I start plotting that, because the boss gets closer, and you know. So the next turn I do start plotting that, and I'll explain to it as we come that way. But you know, these guys run up, that guy runs up. It has to be this turn that I plot, I think. Actually, I think I start the plot and then I go through with it next turn. So I'm looking at his stuff, I'm like, oh, that thing's got 1 to 2 range. I think that's when I first noticed it. I can't tell you for sure. It might have been when I first noticed it's got 1 to 2 range, but you know. I was like, well, do I have Kevin tank it? No, I don't want him to get lethality. Then I was like, well, I want his elixir, I want these guys' things. I can't just kill the boss. What do I do? So, let me wait and see so I can, you know, I'm just kind of looking around. I don't know what I'm doing here exactly. I don't remember what exactly I was doing that for. So I'm like, well, here's what I'll do. I'm going to put Lyran here. Oh, I was looking at movement. Yeah, I was looking at movement. I was like, okay, well, who's got the highest movement? So I put Lyran there, and I'm going to move the rest of my squad left. The rest of my force left. Now, my plan here, as you'll see, my plan was that hopefully the 2 assassins, or at the very least the killing edge guy, would move left, the 2 that spawned, and then the, you know, I could put the boss on a chase around. He'll continue going right for Lyran, and because Lyran's so mobile, she can outrun him, and so I can just keep him on a wild goose chase while I go around to talk to the boss, and he gets another bad level up, and at this point, I'm just done with Zach. I'm like, really, dude, no crits, bad levels, like, Zach was just angry at me so much. So that's exactly what I do, you know. I don't move them too far left yet, because I'm like, well, let's see what happens, you know. I didn't move them to their max potential quite yet. I'm like, let's just get them to the left, see if my plan will work. And it does. Spoilers, it does. And so I commit. You know, that dude runs there. And, you know, at this point, I'm like, alright, well, I gotta commit to this plan. The boss moved right. That was my whole plan. That was the first part of my plan anyways. I still need to see what these 2 assassins do, but... You know, there's the first part of my plan down. I'm checking his range. And I'm like, well, excuse me. I'm like, well, Kevin, come over here. And that's where I noticed it. I believe right there. That's where I noticed that the side of the screen turned green when I did this action. So I start talking about it here. I'm like, whoa, did you guys just see that? The side of the green turned, or the side of the screen turned green. You know, the whole black part turned green. So I look out for it. You know, we see it again. I talk about it. I mention, like, oh, so anytime you make an action, it turns green. That's weird, whatever. So here I'm thinking about it, I'm like, alright, well, I'll just let Kevin draw this guy out, you know. He's not going to be able to touch Kevin. It's really going to be no big deal. I'm going to throw Sean there just because whatever. And, you know. Then we just commit to the plan. I looked, I was like, well, Sean needs to be healed. We'll heal Sean. We'll heal Sean and we'll commit to the plan. So Zach takes a left, Ace takes a left, pretty much everybody takes a left. And both of them run left, and at that point I was super relieved. And here, I was kind of scared. I saw that 7 crit, and I was like, oh no. Oh, please don't kill Sean. And then Sean finally crits, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a nice crit animation. It's really extra. Sean is really extra with that crit, but man, I'm just so mad because my first reactions to Sean's, not only his normal attack, but the crit were both there. It's just so mad. So cool, though. It's just so cool. You know, the crit animations were just, oh, they're so delightful. So I'm checking his movement. I'm like, alright, let's keep him on a goose chase. You know, I can send Lyran over here. He's going to chase us. We can kill this guy, you know, it won't be a big deal. I didn't want Kevin to kill, though. I wanted Lyran to kill, but she couldn't, which was a little upsetting. You know, I was like, well, she can't kill. Not Lyran, Karina. She can't kill, you know, Kevin can't set up. I don't know what to do. I was like, oh, well, Zach has to move. Look at this. Zach can do it. I was like, okay, well, you know, Zach can weaken for Karina. And, of course, he gets the crit when I don't want him to. And I was very mad at him. Like, really? You couldn't crit earlier when I needed or wanted you to, and you get the crit when I don't want you to, really. I was done with Zach at this point, you know? I was like, that was Karina's kill. It's just like, it was so annoying, dude. I was very annoyed. And then I was annoyed with myself, because I was like, oh, great. I moved him just out of Anakin's range. I could have, you know, moved him back one, then had Anakin move him forward. I was like, well, it's not that big of a deal. They're gonna run at me. We got this dude on a goose chase anyways. It's not the biggest deal. Then I do Altheris, because I want Altheris to steal, obviously. Then you get him up there to steal that elixir. So, you know, Emma just does some healing. I was like, well, Sean needs to get healed. That, you know, him getting attacked scared me. And then, of course, we go on this goose chase. And I was like, good, these fools ran up at me. That's great. So at this point, I was like, well, I need to kill this dude. And I was like, well, I want to kill this other guy. Like, alright, well, might as well have him do it. He can either weaken or he can crit and kill. Of course he doesn't crit, because now I want him to crit again. He gets another level up, and it's just HP. I'm telling you, dude, Zach pissed me off this battle. He really legitimately pissed me off this battle. I mean, I wasn't that mad during the live episode, but watching it back, dude, it makes me so angry. And then I was like, well, Karina gets a kill, that's good. Like, Zach just, this whole battle, just nothing but angered me. Nothing but angered me. And then she gets HP resistance, and at this point I was done. I was like, dude, our levels, most of our levels this game, this level has been so bad. Most of these levels have been making me so mad. So here I was like, well, you know, we're all in on Sean. And, you know, might as well give the kills to Sean. Might as well start feeding kills to Sean. 2 hits on 95s, this dude should be a goner. And I could have had Kevin do it, but Kevin would have gotten 0 damage, but he could have gotten poisoned. And so here I was like, dude, Sean is turning around. Look at that level up again. Like, this is legitimately Sean's 180. He's going from a meh bad unit to amazing. Like, his levels are starting to come through, and it's crazy. So here I was like, alright, well, I can just put, what's his face? I can just put,
You can do it.
I can just put Lyran in Anakin's spot. So that's what I do. I move Anakin up. And my plan, I'm like, well, what do I want to do about this guy? I want to draw him forward, but I don't want to kill him. So at first I'm thinking, well, Kevin won't kill him. And then I'm thinking, wait a second, Kevin's got a high crit. I don't want that. So I'm just going to send Kevin up and take away his weapons. So Kevin has no chance to crit. So that's what I do, I believe, next turn with Altheris. I'll have Altheris take his weapons. And I'm like, alright. I mean, Kevin won't kill unless he crits, but Kevin loves to be a dancer. Kevin loves to crit, so, you know, I wasn't taking any chances. The Augury told us not to kill him, and by golly, I was not going to kill him, alright? I most certainly was not going to kill him. So, there I was maybe debating seeing how much damage he did. I was like, well, you know, whatever. And I actually forgot about it. I don't know when I mentioned it, but I forgot that his weapon had 2 range. It might have been there, that's why I checked, but I forgot his weapon had 2 range. And I was like, oh, no, I think it's this next movement. And I was like, oh, I've been getting lucky by moving her farther than I need to because, you know, I didn't want to, you know, I was like, I don't want her to get hit with the Shadow Sword or whatever. So here I'm thinking, I'm like, well, what do I do? I don't want to block the stairs. I kind of want to send him out, and here I have him take all this stuff. I was like, great, how am I going to do this? I kind of mess up, you know, right there I mess up, and I was like, wait, no, I don't want to do that. Like, we'll trade that for that, and then we'll trade the vulnerary there. Yep, so we'll do that. I was like, alright, well, I don't want Kevin to block the stairs. I want Kevin in that square that we were just looking at, and, you know, it's a little hard post because you don't know what square I was talking about specifically, but I want him in the square just at the bottom of the stairs. That way, you know, the boss isn't blocking us in, and we're not. See, I was talking about there, like, I don't want the boss there. That's where I want Kevin, not the boss, because then we have the 3 squares around him to do stuff with. So, actually, technically the 4 squares around him, unless he goes to our right, but whatever. You get the point. I just wanted a lot of people to be able to get around him. That was my whole point. And so here I'm like, alright, let's just keep moving everyone up away from this assassin. Let's keep moving everyone away. His goose chase is almost over. We just need to go talk to the boss, steal his elixir, and then we can be done. And there I was surprised, like, what? Anakin actually got a magic level up? That's crazy. I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked. And it was a good level overall, not just on the magic, but. And here's where I was like, let's test it. And I was like, oh, he actually doesn't do that much damage. Excuse me, he actually doesn't do that much damage except lethality. And I think there, yeah, I think I checked the sword a couple times. I think there is where I realized, yeah, that has to have been it, because I count his movement, and then I count the attack range. Yeah, so that must have been where I first realized that he had a 2-weapon range, or a 2-range weapon, you know? That has to have been it. So I look at these guys, I'm like, they're not too bad. Nothing too much about them. So I move Kevin up, I'm like, great, he's got no weapons. Awesome, Kevin's great, let's move Sean so Sean can talk to him. And I was like, alright, well, let's get Ace over here, just so we can motivate someone, you know, let's just kind of, let's stay out of their range. And I was like, oh, we're barely out of his range, that's a little weird. I ended up checking his weapons, and he has a silver bow, and I was like, it's not too bad, but at least we're not in his range. I'm glad we're not in his range, you know, that's kind of basically what I said.
You can do it.
And then I was like, well, you know what? I bet you Ace has no problems. And I think Ace crits this guy, and this is where I was talking about. If you see that glowy pointy spear, then you better pray, because you know you're dead. So I see the silver bow, and I was debated it. I check his defense, like, oh, 16 defense, and then like, but you know what? It's Ace. I check his speed, I'm like, it's Ace, dude. Ace is really good. So I let Ace do it. I'm like, you know what, Ace? Go do it. You know what? Draw this guy up. And I wanted Ace to draw them both up, actually, but he couldn't. So I was like, you know what, Ace? Draw this guy up. So that's what I do. I let him draw him up. Obviously, I move him there so that we can steal once the boss moves. You know, or not, he's not a boss, but once that guy moves, I move Lyran out of his range. Here, Ace dodges. And there's the pointy spear. And I'm pretty sure this is where I was like, oh my gosh, Ace. If you see that pointy spear, you know you're dead. You might as well start praying. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember I said something pretty much along those lines. And I was really ecstatic. So I run up with Sean. I'm like, wait, Sean can't attack. And I was also surprised because the boss didn't move. Sean can't attack. Sean can't, frick, what am I trying to say? Speak? Yeah, Sean can't talk. And then I was kind of confused. Like, well, what do I do? What do I do? I can't talk to him. He doesn't move. And I was like, great, Altheris is just out of his range. So I have a huge dilemma here. At this point, I'm thinking, do I want... Because here's what I was thinking. I was thinking I have to end this battle because the boss is right there. All my units are bunched up. So my thought process was I could kill the boss without needing the motivator. So I either motivate Altheris to go steal the elixir, or I motivate Ace to go kill that guy for XP. And I debated it, you know, that's why I'm sitting here going back and forth. And I'm, you know, just seeing, like, can I kill this guy? You know, I don't make the decision that we don't need the motivator to kill him for a couple, you know, maybe like another 30 seconds or so, whatever. But, I was really debating. I was literally sitting here thinking, do I want experience or do I want money? Experience or money? And, you know, I sat here and debated it because I swear to you thought. I swear to you thought, I was like, we're going to kill the boss and get out of here so I can only pick one. This guy doesn't move, and, you know, we can't talk to him. You know, I don't know why I did that. I didn't plan on killing him. Sean didn't reach that guy. And there, I was like, alright, well, Sean can hit him, Karina can hit him, and, you know, we can double javelin him and then have Lyran move up and kill. So, I was pretty confident that we'd kill the boss at this point. And that's when I just like, you know what? $1,500. We actually are kind of doing okay on money now. We have a lot of gems. That's why I decided. I was like, you know what? We'll take the experience. Who needs the 1,500? We'll take the experience. So I have Ace come over. I was like, great. Ace is going to get the kill. That's wonderful. Ace comes. He gets his kill. And it's great. Ace gets his experience. And then I was sitting here like, please don't make me regret this. And Ace is like, yo, don't worry, Big Daddy. I got you. And I was like, oh. I literally like did something similar to that, you know, one of those just like awe moments. I was like, Ace, I do not regret it. I remember saying live commentary like, hey, don't worry, you ain't gonna regret it. And oh man, like I just made Ace like speak like he was telling me I'm not gonna regret it. And I was like, yes, that is amazing. And there I was 100%. I was like, you know what? Great. You are their leader. And he doesn't say anything. The Silvos, you're even more sinister than the rumors say, but that won't stop me from fighting you. Do your worst, kid. Yeah, and I just remember, dude, I was like, holy cow. Ace, that was such a good level. One away from perfect. And I didn't regret it at all. So then I'm like, oh, he doesn't have much to say. And of course we miss. So that put a real damper on things. I was actually really legitimately scared at this point. I was really worried. I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no, because this is where I realized, I was like, I could take the 74 Steel Lance, but I'd get doubled if we missed. And I honestly thought somebody was dead here. Well, I shouldn't say I thought anybody was dead, but I knew that I was in trouble here, you know? I was worried. I knew that trouble was a brewing. So, you know, I was like, great, well, if we do that, I'm in a lot of trouble. And so I was looking at Sean, I was like, well, you know what? Sean should be able to take this guy. You know, so I move Althera's there so that I can, you know, so that I can put the Sylvans up front. That's the whole point. I was like, you know what? Sean's going to tank this. Sean has to tank this. And I realized, I don't remember when exactly I realized it. It might be after Lyran moved. Yeah, I think it's after I rescue Karina here. Spoilers, I rescue Karina. And, you know, I mean, that's why I decided. I was like, you know what? I got to get Karina out of there. I already bet on Sean tanking. After I rescue, right around this point, I realized, I was like, wait. Yeah, I think that's why I stopped Zach's moving there. I was like, wait a second. Althera's is screwed because of this. I was legitimately concerned, and I was sitting here like, please miss, please miss, please miss. And he didn't miss. I was like, oh, please don't double. And he didn't double. And I was like, oh my gosh. Thank the Lord. Althera's could have died there, and it would have been so upsetting. I know I realized it before the enemy phase turned. I don't know when exactly, but I was so scared, man. I was terrified. I was freaking terrified. Anyways, at this point, I was like, okay, what do I do? At this point, I was like, well, he actually screwed up, because if he would have walked in front of Sean to do that, then I wouldn't be able to escape his range, but he didn't. He didn't walk away from Sean. So I can actually go steal the elixir now before we kill him, because now my units can get out of range. If he were in front of Sean, they wouldn't have been able to. I would have had to kill him. But I was like, well, I can get away from him now, so that ace level up was wonderful. You know, going for the XP was beautiful because it's a win-win now. You know, now I can, you know, the motivator's right there. And the motivator plus Althera's, we can get to him, steal the thing, and then kill the boss after that. So, I was quite happy about that. I was like, wow. I mean, the boss is stupid. He should not have run to the other side of the wall. I get why the AI did that, but you can see I'm counting here. I'm like, well, just keep everybody out of the squares and we're good. You know, just keep everybody out of the squares and we're good. And so I moved these units out of the way, and I was like, well, wait a second. I don't want Sia there. I want Sia near the boss so that we can, you know, she can help us kill the boss. She'll obviously destroy the boss. Send Sean up there. I was like, great. Everyone's safe. Cool. Ace just moved back. No real reason. And so from here, we're about to end the battle. You know, we're gonna go steal the elixir and get out of here. So I'm checking him. I'm like, well, do we have anything back? You know, do we even have space? It's like, all right, we'll have Kevin come over and we'll swap our inventories again, you know? Kevin can take all of his stuff back, and now Altheris has free spots. Then obviously we have Altheris move there. We'll have Anakin move to motivate him. And again, at this point, it's like, well, we don't need the motivation to kill the boss. So I thought last time, and thankfully it worked out, but you know, whatever. And then I was like, wait, I can't steal from him? And then I looked, and I'm like, he's got 21 speed. I cap at 20. He's too fast for me. I was sad. I was like, boy, at this point, I was like, I'm so glad I went for the XP. At this point, I was like, I'm so glad I went for the XP. So then I'm sitting here, I'm like, you know what? I'm all in on Sean. Sean's gonna double. I was looking at levels, and I was like, who do I want to give it to? And I would say Karina, but she couldn't reach, and I didn't dare throw a javelin. So I was like, no, I can't do that. So my choices were Lyran, Sia, and Sean. I was like, well, Lyran's level, actually, I was like, Lyron's level 9, Sia's level 9, Sean's only level 5. But I said I decided to give it to Sean. That's wrong. I actually decided to give it to Lyron. And the reason is, I was like, well, Sean is an overpowered monster now. Sean is going to be able to kill things and absolutely destroy them, you know? So here I was like, well, 86, the one shot, I don't want a chance at lethality. We'll take it. Ugh. There you go. And Lyron can obviously get all for XP. Because, like I said, Sean's a god now. He's got proof weapons, or preference weapons, and HP luck. I was so done. I was so mad about a lot of the level ups this battle. Failed contract, I actually ended up dropping the javelin because I thought I'd be able to give it to, just in case. Whoa, what done? Yeah, that was tough. I've never fought such quick and strong people before. Took me by surprise. Fighting assassins really isn't your conventional battle. We should go tell Dad what happened. He must be worried. That, and we have to get a move on it. Reading this post, the rest of the soldiers should be ready to march again. We don't want to hold them back. It's a little bit harder in case I forget the voice. Wait, what? It must be solid and flee from the battle. What do you want with us? Let me join your group. What? Are you crazy? You just tried to kill us. No, I didn't. I stood my ground. Which is true. I mentioned that live. I never chased you once, didn't I? He did. You have a point, but why would you even want to join us? He did stand perfectly still. He didn't move at us, so... I've been trained to be an assassin, but I wasn't raised one. As much as I try to shove down my doubts, I can't help but think I'm doing the wrong thing. Like I'm fighting the wrong people for the wrong people. And that the zeros were going down the drain. I need a new place to stay, somewhere my skills can be put to use. By skills, you mean assassinating. Hey, don't make it sound so bad. Before we became Magnus's tools, we only killed the bad people. Corrupt nobles, bandits would even be hired as mercenaries once in a while. Besides, it's not like you guys aren't killing people. Death is how we shut someone up. You guys want to shut up Magnus, and I'm a professional at silencing people. I'm not asking for anything in return, just let me stay. It's hard to say, it's hard to face, but I think some of what you are saying is true. Even if we don't kill the people, can't seem to solve any other way around it. See, you understand, so let me join you. And keep a close eye on you if it helps you. You're not like the rest of them, are you? The rest of the zeros. We'll talk to our general on your behalf. I think I'll let you join. What's your name? Thanatos, but I don't go by that name. I go by Shadow. I realize it sounds sort of stupid, but there's a reason why I don't want people calling me Thanatos. You put enough trust in us to tell us something you don't like telling. We'll try and repay that trust by keeping it a secret. Just don't do anything stupid. We have people in our group who can be scarier than assassins. I'll keep that in mind. Sean, you're alright. It took you a while. I was about to come in with some more soldiers, but I'm not surprised you made it back in one piece. I'm sorry, we ran into the zeros. We managed to beat them though. They shouldn't bother us anymore. I see. That was unexpected, but at least you're safe. And it's good to know. Yo, I was saying, I want to know what happens if you don't kill them. Like, is there a way we don't kill them? Because the old lady said if we don't kill them, they'll cause problems later. So, I really want to know what would happen. That we won't have to see any more of their assassins. Even for Magnus, it's a low act. Oh, by the way, I found the Heaven Seal. It's whether the sword Silvos, the overpowered sword. That's great. I know you can do it, Sean. I'm sure Silvos won't mind if we use them with good intentions. I've returned. We've cleared out Fort tonight. Yes. Magnus surrendered pretty quickly, but unfortunately they didn't have many supplies. It's like Magnus has given up on their fort halls on the outside of Blaine. We haven't seen any of their generals since Gallagher on the southern fields. Anyways, everything done on your NC. Yes, tell the soldiers we're leaving soon. We'll have many stops before we get there, but our next destination is the land of the snow, Alicia. Yeah, I'm excited with it. We'll travel along the border of Athea until we reach there, and our battles will only become tougher when we must brace ourselves for heated battles on cold ground. But all I can think about is that I must stay focused. To fulfill the promise I made, my last promise to Lily. And here I was like, oh, that's where the name of the game comes from. The last promise. It's his last promise to Lily, Sean's mother. Oh, dang those rebels. They are the only force stopping me from achieving my dream, and they're so persistent. They rescued that worthless king, killed my elite soldiers, the zeros, and now they plan on helping Alicia. As it is, Alicia hasn't been cooperating in the least. Soon they'll be at our very doorsteps. Your Majesty, I can take care of them. They are no match for me, just give me the water. Phoenix, you've done well so far. Everything I've asked of you, you've done for me, just as I've done everything you and that Laha have asked of me. Please don't let me down, we can't let them have their way. If people like the rebels succeed in their plans, more people will continue to die in vain. Indeed, but there is nothing to worry about with me. I give you permission to destroy them however you see fit. You are the slayer who once killed 100 men alone. Your attacks are more powerful enough to slash through even my armor. I know of your strength, and I believe you can do it. Of course. Good luck, Phoenix. I believe in you. So at this point, I save on a new file. I don't know, but I might come back to revisit and see what happens if you leave them alive. Maybe I'll do that off screen, and then we can mention it next time. I noticed that the little bookmark, the little book and feather pen disappeared, so I reset the game here just to see if it's on either of the files. It's not. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm so sad that I'm really sad that the live commentary did not record. It upsets me. Hopefully this post commentary was enough for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. It really upset me. I don't know what's up with the feather and the book thing. I don't know. If you know, let me know. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. And yeah, let me know how the post commentary went. Peeps out.